February 17th, 2026, and it is a big day. It is launch day for the book Integrity First Selling. Hey, welcome. My name's Mark Hunter, the Sales Center. This book has been 2+ years in the making, and I want to say it's exciting. I'm pleased. I'm happy to be able to share it with everyone right now. And this is the global launch day on Amazon for both the hard copy and the soft cover. The Kindle version's been out there for a few weeks. And later on, we'll be doing the launch on Barnes and Noble and other sites and so forth. But this is the global launch day on Amazon. Hey, let me tell you something. Why did I write the book? It is because without a doubt, we need integrity now more than ever. And the problem is, integrity can't just be a word. If it's a word, who cares? If it's a platitude that we just say, who cares? Integrity has to be part of our DNA. It has to be part of who we are. And this is one of the reasons why I struggled getting the book out, because I had to make sure that, was I doing everything with integrity? If any of you caught my live podcast earlier in the week, and you'll see it out on the Sales Center podcast here in a couple of weeks, I went through a couple stories of times when I felt my integrity, when I knew my integrity was challenged, and how I handled through it. Because here's the whole thing. You can't just talk it. You've got to live it. And this is what I'm going to ask each of you to do from an integrity standpoint. How are you living out integrity? Because let me tell you something. Integrity in sales is not a short game. Integrity in sales is a long game. If you want to play the short game, that's called commission breath. You see, integrity is about truth, trust, respect, accountability, transparency. It's serving others. Now, stop and think about what I just said. Truth, trust, respect, accountability, transparency. You bundle those together, and you now have integrity. And I talk about that in the book. I break it down in the book. And I'm going to share with you here on this call here today some excerpts from the book. But what is it about? You cannot demonstrate integrity unless you are demonstrating truth to create trust. You see, here's the whole thing. The customer is not on a journey to just spend money. They're on a journey to solve problems. And there's many, many options out there. We have to be the ones that are going to help them solve their problems, solve their challenges, or create a bigger gain. And that's why I wrote this book, Integrity First Selling, because stop and think about this. AI is so noisy out there. There's so much noise out there. And that's the yin. And I think integrity is the yang. Now, I say AI is the yin because fake videos, fake news, all this noise that paints pictures of things that really aren't. And as a result, customers are tired. They're exhausted. We're all tired. We're all exhausted. And this is where integrity comes through. Integrity, I think, is a 2-watt light bulb in a dark room. That's kind of a weird expression, but I truly believe it. You see, here's the way I look at integrity. Integrity can be wrapped up in creating success. And success is not what we do. Success is what those you serve are able to do. Think about that for a moment. That's really what our goal is in sales. Our goal in sales is to help our customers see and achieve what they did not think was possible. That's my definition of sales. That's why I say the definition of sales and the definition of leadership is the same thing. Sales is leadership. Leadership is sales. It's about helping others see and achieve what they didn't think was possible. Now, people challenge me because they say, okay, that's sales, but prospecting is really, that's bugging people. Like, no, it's not. Here's the whole thing. If you have the ability to help someone, you owe it to them to reach out to them. If you have the ability to help someone, you owe it to them to reach out to them. Now, this is not a blanket to say, I'm going to go and call anybody under the sun. No, this is why we have all the tools that we do. This is how we use AI to really develop that really concentrated list of people who we know we can help. Because if I have a problem, and I knew you could help me, I would want you to reach out to me. That's what sales is all about. You see, sales is about helping our customers see and achieve what they didn't think was possible. This is why I say sales is not a job. Sales is not a profession. Sales is a lifestyle. And see, when I'm demonstrating integrity, when integrity first selling is being practiced, that's what you're doing. And there's a key reason why those three words line up the way they do. I didn't say selling with integrity. No, no. I said integrity first, then selling. And that's very, very key. Now, the reason I wrote this book, and let me come back and pick up on what I shared with you at the start, was I feel that there's a real void out there. We have become so programmed to just mechanize everything. We have become so programmed just to create the program, to do the messaging of emails, to do the messaging of all. Yeah, whoa. But we're not really understanding the customer. Early on in my sales career, I had a boss that sat me down and he very explicitly shared with me. He says, you got to slow down because you're not understanding what the customer is looking for. You're not understanding where the customer is at. And as a result, you're missing out. You see, that's what integrity is all about. Integrity first selling is about putting the customer first. And when we put the customer first, it's amazing at what happens. Now, I mentioned AI, and I really do believe that we're at a crossroads because AI is just slamming itself into everything. And we're embracing it. I embrace it. I got it. No problem. No problem. But how are we doing it? In my book, I have what I call the AI manifesto. And I just want to go through these points with you. And I want you to really take these to heart. It's in my book where I talk about AI and integrity. It says AI will not control my life. Stop and think about what that means. AI is not going to control my life. It's going to help my life. AI will help me become more curious. That is exactly what AI is really designed to do, is to help us be more curious. 3, AI will not replace me. I will use it to assist me. Never allow AI to do the work for you. Allow AI to assist you. Number 4 on the list, AI will help me become a better person. Yeah, because knowledge has become democratized because of AI. That's huge. That allows us to have access to virtually anything and everything out there. It's how we choose to use it. AI will give me more time to spend engaging with others. That's the key thing. AI is going to help us because it really comes down to customer facing time. How much customer facing time do we have? That's where sales are made. And so if I can get AI to do the back office stuff, I'm better off. AI will allow me to be more knowledgeable going into every conversation. Exactly. And whatever the conversation is, I can go to AI and I can get some background information. And it doesn't allow me to walk in as the wizard knowing all, but it allows me at least to have a framework. AI will allow me to overcome cultural and language barriers, allowing me to connect better with others. Now, stop and think about this. We're in a global marketplace, absolutely global. And there are cultural differences around the world and even here within the United States and North America. AI helps us understand these. In language, without a doubt, we're already in the process of translating this book into Spanish, thanks to AI. Next on the list, AI is not an enemy. Rather, I will view it for the benefit it offers. You see, do I take it as a negative or do I take it as a positive? This is the whole thing. If I embrace AI with a pessimistic view, I'm never going to see the value in it. But if I embrace AI with an optimist approach, then I'm going to see ways it can help me. And the final one, AI might mean artificial intelligence, but I view it as authentic integrity. Chew on that one for a bit. That's my AI manifesto. And I embrace that for a very simple reason. I want you to think about that last one there where I said AI is not, artificial intelligence, but it's authentic integrity. Because this is what you have to keep in mind. I'm going to use AI to help me gather all this knowledge and gather these insights, but it's up to me in terms of how I apply it. This is just one of the many reasons why I wrote this book, Integrity First Selling. And I want you to pick up a copy. And when you pick up a copy, would you leave me a review on Amazon? Because again, reviews really help tell others what it's about, and share it on social media, would you? Please let others know. Because I really firmly believe I've had the chance to write 4 other books. There is no book I am as passionate about as this book because of what it can do. Now, the whole thing. I can't change society. I can't change the world. There's so many issues out there with integrity. We see integrity being challenged. I went through that list, earlier in terms of truth and trust and respect, and right there, that goes right out the window with politics the way it is today. Hold it. Accountability goes out the window. Transparency goes out the window. I can't deal with any of that. I can just deal with myself. My view is this. If I control myself, I'm going to attract others who are like me. You see, my whole firm belief is this. When I prospect and sell with integrity, I'm going to get clients and customers who have integrity. Think about that for a moment. Because those who want to dwell on anything but the truth, anything but trust, anything but respect, they are repelled by people who demonstrate integrity. Conversely, those who embrace integrity are drawn towards those who have integrity. This is where I say, if you want to create long-term business success for you, embrace integrity. And that's why I wrote the book, Integrity First Selling, because I want to give you the roadmap. Now, here's the deal. You can't just read the book and say, I'm suddenly, no. You've got to live it. You've got to live it. And in the book, I've got a number of checkpoints, a number of guide lists, a number of things you can download. Why? Because it's got to serve as, so to speak, your North Star. You see, I think integrity is the light on the hill. I think integrity is the North Star. I think it's what everybody in business points towards, points to. So I want to be the one that carries that light. I want to be the one that lights the path for people. Now, some of you have already asked me, a number of people have already said, Integrity First Selling. Why did you launch it the way you did? Because I'm launching it without a publisher. I'm doing it for a very simple reason, because it's the start of a movement. Integrity First movement. First in sales, and then it's going to expand into business. And it's incredibly impactful that I control the whole voice. This is why Mike Weinberg, I have incredible respect for Mike. Mike and I have known each other for 10 plus years. That's why he wrote the foreword for the book. Because there are people who I want to have in my life who demonstrate integrity, and Mike is one of them. If you don't know Mike Weinberg, you've got to follow him on LinkedIn. You got to check out his books. There are people like David Brock, Larry Levine, Brent Pullman. There are both business leaders. Well, everybody's a business leader, but business leaders who own companies, who are CEOs that I highly, highly embrace. And then there are fellow authors like me who have come out of the business world and spend their time just consulting and working with the company. But I was absolutely, Bob Berg was a person who I reached out to, and I said, Bob, I've known Bob for years, high regard for him. And I said, would you endorse this book? You see, here's what I'm going to challenge you with. You become the sum of the 5 people you associate with the most. Think about that. Jim Rohn said that line years ago. You become the sum of the 5 people you associate with most. So pick your friends carefully. And again, this is what I'm talking about with Integrity First Selling. You need to line yourself up with fellow people who have integrity. Of course, I unpack that a lot more in my other book, A Mind for Sales. You probably see it on the bookshelf behind me back there somewhere. It's somewhere back there. I talk about that a lot. It's one of the reasons why I'm in a mastermind group with 4 other people who I have incredible respect for. Meredith Elliott Powell, who I'm going to give a shout out to right now. Meredith Elliott Powell and I, 6 years ago today, we launched our first podcast, Sales Logic Podcast. And 6 years later, here we are still doing the show. And that 6th year anniversary show launched today. Now, stop and think about this for a moment. Would we have done that if we didn't have a tremendous amount of trust and respect for each other, a tremendous amount of accountability to each other? Because there were many times that I didn't want to do the program, but I knew she'd rip me if I wasn't there. And she felt the same way. It has to be transparency, truth. See, the cornerstone of integrity. And what I find is that, again, when you align and when you believe and you practice integrity, you attract others like it. So Meredith Elliott Powell is part of my mastermind group. Sam Richter is part of my mastermind group. Mary Kelly is part of my mastermind group. Peter Stark is part of my mastermind. These are all brilliant people. Absolute. I'm thankful. And again, it's because we attract who we are like. On my website, I say when you prospect with integrity, you will close with confidence. And that's exactly what happens. You do. When you prospect with integrity, you naturally attract better clients. And you'll close with confidence because both sides, you're demonstrating trust, respect, accountability, transparency, truth. And you're both committed to serving others. You see, you're committed to serving the customer, and the customer is committed to serving who they serve. If you want to create better customers at a higher margin with long-term, in other words, you want to reduce your customer turnover, this is why you need to jump into the book, Integrity First Selling. I firmly believe it. It will change the way you sell. And yes, there is a chapter in there that lays out the Integrity First sales process. Yes, there is. Yes. Because you knew I couldn't put a book together on sales without doing it. Here's the thing. I want you to ask yourself, what would your business look like 6 months from now if customers who don't demonstrate integrity are no longer with you, and you could replace them with customers who had integrity? What would your business look like? I'm sure it would look a lot better. Again, Integrity First Selling. The book is out. It's out on Amazon. I want you to grab a copy of it. There is absolutely no reason why you should not be picking it up. And like I said earlier, this is the start of a mission to impact people. And it's a start of a mission that you can do when you're able to read this book. That's why I suggest, hey, integrity is not something we can hold as a word. No. It's not a platitude. It's not something we throw out when we feel good. Integrity has to be part of our DNA. And when it's part of our DNA, it is part of every breath. And this is absolutely key. As I was writing the book, there was a couple times when I was challenged. I had problems. And I had to just, wait a minute, I got to do this. I got to solve this issue with complete integrity. And that meant having very frank conversations with customers over issues, over problems, that mistakes I had made. And you know what's interesting? In every one of those cases, it came out for the better. Absolutely came out for the better. And better relationships with the clients, better relationships with me, everybody just feels better. And we're operating at a higher level. You see, Integrity First Selling gets you through the high points and it gets you through the low points. Because again, nobody's perfect. We are all going to have issues. We're all going to have challenges. Yeah. I want you to get this book, Integrity First Selling. And I want you to leave a review on Amazon. Would you please leave a review on Amazon and share it with others? Here's the thing that I see. The more people we have selling with integrity, the better the sales community will be. Because customers will see the sales community in a different light. Unfortunately, and this is one of the reasons why I wrote the book, because Sales does not exactly have a great reputation. You ask 50 people what they think of sales, and you're going to get a lot of negative responses. Salespeople, slimy. This is why I feel if we all embrace this book and apply it, we're going to make our jobs easier. We are going to make our jobs easier because we're going to raise the stature of the sales community. Yeah. Stop and think about that, what that means to you. I can't embrace integrity first selling enough. I can't. Since I got done reading the book, or since I got done writing the book a couple months ago, I've gone back and I've reread it several times. And every time I read it, I pull out something new. You see, the mark of an integrity-centered person is they never stop learning. They never stop learning. You're going to unlock the value inside of you when you read Integrity First Selling. And when you unlock the value inside of you, you will now be able to unlock the value of those you serve. You see, we can't unlock the value of others until we first unlock the value of ourselves. That's not being greedy. That's not being arrogant. No. What it does is it puts us in a different light. And that is exactly what happens. When we are in a different light, then it's amazing at how customers will see us in a different light. And when they see us in a different light, they will communicate with us in a different light. Sales is absolutely the best gig in the world. So I say it's a lifestyle. It's not a job. It's not a profession. It's a lifestyle. Integrity first selling is going to take you to that next level. Hey, thank you so much for joining me. And I want you to grab a copy of the book, Integrity First Selling, and leave a review on social media and on Amazon. Would you please? And for those of you who are bugging me for the audio copy, yes, I'll get you the audio copy very soon. Hey, Brent Pullman, such a needed message today. You are so correct. You are one of those voices, one of those people that absolutely have impacted me. I loved reading your book, and I'm excited to have you on the podcast here. Looking forward to doing that recording. In fact, just a little later on this morning. Brent, thank you so much. Integrity First Selling. I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Great selling.